Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 8 of Monday Meta Madness. I am your host, Havoc, and let's just get straight into it. Today we're going to be looking at a deck that's not really in the meta. I mean, it's been played here and there, but you know, it's a very fun deck. And yeah, it's called Thunderstruck. Well, that's what I'm calling it, because whatevers. So insert AC/DC here. I can't play it though because of, you know, copyright and all that floobs. So anyway, here's some of the key cards. But let's go look at the actual deck list. Today, what's this? Today we're playing a deck called Decky Deck. Which, with Flibbity Floobs? Which Flibbity? Yeah, okay. Anyway, there you go on their prototype. Yeah, let's get into that deck list. If I can find my thing. Alright. Blam. There we go. Alright. So let's have a look at the deck. So the deck has 18 normal shards and then 4 jewel shards. 9 and 9 of each there. So you can see we've got 9 rubies, 9 sapphires, and then 4 shard of innovation. Then next up we've got a lot of burn spells. So we've got Burn Itself, which is just the 1 cost, deal 2 damage to target champion or troop. Now this deck is all about damage to the face, so all about the target champion for the most part. You know, obviously if you need to kill something, you've got the ability to do so if you're getting rushed down by aggro, or you've got pucks or periwinkles to kill, you're able to do that. So we got a 1-off burn to the ground as well, a decent finisher, but also able to take out some bigger troops, which is a you know, 1x, and you deal X damage to target champion or troop. So if you do this for 6, you'll be able to deal 5 damage. Then we've got Arcane Focus, always pretty much a staple in every, you know, Sapphire, you know, anything running Sapphire, you're going to have Arcane Focus in there, as it's a very, very good 1-drop. You know, basic action, look at the top 2 cards and you pick one and put it in your hand. So very nice. Then you've got 4 Thunderfield Seers. Now this deck is all about these Thunderfield Seer guys, and you know, I'll talk about why when we get into some games here, and you know, as we're doing the combos. But you can probably already picture what's going to happen with these Thunderfield guys, and you know what's coming if you're familiar with them. So this one here is a 1/1 for 1, and the next action in your deck gets draw a card. Now the downside to this guy, compared to things like the Winter Moon Charge Card, it's not when you play the card, draw a card, which would be much better. But it's when, you know, so if the card gets countered or something, then you're not going to get that effect, sadly. But still good, and does combo very nicely. We got one of the main win conditions here, which is Rage Fire. So it's 2 damage for 2 costs, but it escalates. So when you cast one of them, all copies in all zones, in all your zones anyway, will escalate and become 4, and then 6, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the main win conditions there. Very nice when you hit with the Thunderfield Elder, which is basically the same as the Seer, except he's putting on when you play this, copy it. So you can get, you know, if you're lucky, a lot of the times you'll play, for example, if you've got, like I had a game the other day where I had this guy in opening hand, then decided to wait till turn 2, because then you know, you don't want to actually draw the action before you're getting this guy down. Like, ideally you want to do this on 2, then do this on 3, and then draw the action. That way you've got copy and card draw on whatever action it is. But in the case, you know, there's a lot of games where I'll play 2 of these on turn 2, 1 of these on 3, and then if you're lucky and you didn't draw the action immediately after playing these 2, then you're just laughing at that point, because then let's say it hit a Rage Fire. You'll have a Rage Fire which is copy and then draw 2 cards, so you'll actually draw 4 cards and you'll do 6 damage. Very, very nice. So that's one of the main, you know, things you want to be doing. You got Crackling Bolt, which is just 3 damage for 2, and you also gain a charge as a bit of a bonus. And you got just some Oracle Songs here for those, for some card draw. I haven't been reading the chat here, I'll check that in a second. But yeah, Oracle Songs, you know, just target champion draws 2 cards. So if you hit copy on this, you'll draw 4 cards. Can easily get you back into the game. Then we got Mr. Renlock over here, which is a 4-cost human. He's a 3/3, and when you play an action, you draw a card. Very nice. And then we've got Cyclone Shaman, very nice card, and good with recursion. So it's a 2/4 flyer, and then the next troop in your deck gets this effect here, which basically makes it so. Let's say the prophecy effect hits the Thunderfield Elder. That means I can then take any 3-cost action out of my crypt and put it back into my hand. So let's say we've played a Thunderfield Seer, and then the next troop we did play was a Shaman. Let's say that Thunderfield Seer hit a Oracle Song. The Oracle Song would then draw 3 cards. After playing the Cyclone Shaman, and then say it hits another Elder, we then could get back that draw 3 card Oracle Song. So that's just an example. And then we got Sunsoul Phoenix here, which is something that is newer to the deck. Like I made this deck a long time ago, where I just had like 4 Cyclone Shamans, 4 Renlocks, what's that, 3, and then there was something else I can't remember. I guess it was a second Burn to the Ground, yeah. And then I thought about running Sunsoul Phoenix. I never got around to trying it, but it is actually very good and does work very well. Because especially when you've got copied actions and you're putting multiple into the crypt, it's then very easy to just play the Phoenixes from your crypt very easily. Because one of the weaknesses for this deck is actually mill, because obviously prophecy effects require you to draw those cards. You have to wait till you draw the cards that you're hitting with these effects here, with all of these. So that's one of the big weaknesses is mill. So then at least Sunsoul Phoenix gets around that quite nicely. So yeah, that's the main deck there. Let me have a quick look at the chat here. So how you going there, Malicus? So yeah, let's look at the reserves. So we got 2 Burn to the Grounds. The reserves here are not, they're not the best. It's just whatever for now. The reserves aren't that important, in a way. Like, obviously in some matchups you're going to want incubation webs. Some matchups you might feel, you know what, I actually do need a counter. I need to stop, something early that my opponent's doing, or they're basically the only thing I can't deal with, I'll better bring these in. So it's not ideal though, running counter magic, because you don't want to hit your Thunderfield Elder onto a counter magic. Renlock is actually not essential at all. So if you would like to make the deck a lot cheaper, you just take him out, and then the deck becomes incredibly cheap. Well, also the Sunsoul Phoenix, you can take out all these. The deck will be a lot weaker to mill, but if you were to take out Sunsoul Phoenix and Renlock, you make the deck considerably cheaper. You put in Cyclone Shamans, two extras of those. You put in some more Burn to the Grounds. What else here? Yeah, and I mean you could, because you still got Oracle Song, you've still got the copy, and this guy, if that effect's going off, you're still going to draw a lot of cards. And then you got the recursion with the Shaman, but it would be weaker to mill. But yeah, Renlock is not really essential. You could do less than, if you wanted, you could just do like 2 of it if you liked. But it's always nice to have Renlock around. Yeah, copied counter magic is decent, is okay against other counters, of course. So then you got Heat Wave. If you're against like Spell Shield, Azure Fate, this is pretty much your only option for now. Set 4 will obviously bring us new options. We have already seen, Zygmunt's Game, which, let me actually bring that up on screen here. I should have a picture. I hope I have a picture. Let me just double check. I should have. But Zygmunt's Game is definitely a card that I'm very much looking forward to trying in this deck. Those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's a 1-cost. Yeah, I do have a picture. Give me a second to put that up on the screen here. No verdict? Nah. Another bad thing to have copied. The deck's more about just doing its own thing and not caring too much what your opponent's doing. I mean, obviously there's certain things you're going to have to kill, but you've got a lot of burn spells to do that. So you can kill Vampire Princesses, which is incredibly important, obviously. But this card here from set 4, very much looking forward to. This is something that will fit nicely in this deck, and I'll tell you why. Let me actually just center that. There we go. So the reason why this will work very nicely in the deck is you don't care about your Thunderfield Seer. You don't care if that dies. You would actually welcome it. If you were to hit this action here with the Thunderfield Seer effect, and then you were to play this, you would obviously draw a card by playing it. You kill a random troop. If you kill your Seer, well, that means you've drawn a card for 1. And let's say you're doing this, say you did turn 1 Thunderfield Seer, you do this on turn 2, you do it for 1 resource, and then you kill your Seer. You're like, okay, whatever, I didn't care about him anyway. Then you do it again, you draw another card, and then you kill your opponent's troop if they've got one. So that's actually good. Because then, and let's say you didn't hit that, let's say you played out a Thunderfield Elder before you even played this, because you didn't need to yet. Then you play this later, it gets copied, just starts killing all the troops, and you're getting all that card draw, and then your opponent's troops start dying as well. So you've killed off the troops you don't care about of your own, and then you could also play like things like a Renlock and not worry about Crocosaur in that example. So yeah, Zigmund's game very good, and it helps you with Spell Shield like Azure Fate and stuff, which is what Heatwave can be useful for, obviously. In the reserves there, but Zigmund's game I think will fit very nicely in this deck, and I look forward to trying it. So yeah, that's a very nice card there. So yeah, the rest of the sideboard, what else we have? We got 2 Heroic Outlaws. Actually, I did a gauntlet with the deck this morning before I had a nap, basically. So this morning I did it. Did a gauntlet, went 5-0 with it, and I had a few basically not exactly mirror matches, but very close to. People running similar stuff. One guy running almost the same list, and that's where you bring in Heroic Outlaws against other burn decks, basically. So that you're both racing and damage in a lot of cases, maybe both rage-firing each other in the face, and then I ended up winning thanks to Heroic Outlaw in I think one of the games. But then you got Reginald as well, which can be just another nice card to put pressure on against, especially against like Wintermoon and stuff, as they're generally just going to have to bounce that. So it can be nice, put a bit more pressure, and if you get it in their deck, then they're also hurting themselves every time they draw a card. Potentially they kill themselves by Reginald saying, "G'day, what's up? You're dead." So yeah, that is the deck in the sideboard. So Zigmund's game there, one of the cards I'm very much looking forward to putting into this deck. And there's definitely others that I'm looking forward to trying. But yeah, I mean, Set 4 is going to obviously change up a lot of stuff. But for now, let's look at. You know what? Let me check something. I did record some of the matches, but you know what? Let's just verse one of you guys in the chat. So if you'd like to verse me, just send me a whisper in game. I'll type that in the chat as well. So yeah, the deck, it's not the easiest thing to play, but once you play it, once or twice, you'll easily, understand what you need to be doing. But yeah, it's fairly straightforward for the most part. But you got to just think about, like with Cyclone Shaman, you want to get back the right card, obviously. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So hopefully I'll be able to show off some of these nice interactions. Let's see. So yeah, I'll just wait for one of you guys to whisper me. If not, I will just do a random opponent. And then I also, let me check. I might just show off one of the recordings. Let me see if I have it still. What's this one? And yeah, and of course, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Question then: if someone wanted to make a more budget version of the deck, what would you suggest? Alright, so yeah, as I said before, you take out all the Renlocks, the Phoenix. You'd obviously need Ragefire. You can't do it without Ragefire. It's obviously, that's Ragefire. I guess the price is around 400 or 500. So that obviously makes it a little bit expensive just by itself. But yeah, you kind of need those. And then you can take out the Renlocks. You take out the Phoenix. You add in the Cyclone Shamans, the rest of them. So you'd have four of those. You'd add in maybe 1 or 2 more Burn to the Grounds. So you'd have then 3 of those, up to 3. And then for the last couple cards, if I remember, I mean you could put it some like what's his name in there, Reginald in the main deck if you like, just as another alternate win condition. But yeah, I'll look at that in a moment. Actually, let me get back into. Wait, we got a whisper here. All right, Malik is gonna do it. So let's get this going. Oh, let's try that again. Challenge, send. What are you doing? Trying again. Come on, Malachus, what are you doing? He's probably sitting in one of those screens where you can't challenge people from. Because he's a floobs. Let's try again. I'll get him to challenge me. So yeah, I mean that's the way you start basically. You just want to increase the Cyclone Shamans, increase the burn to the grounds, and then I think you'll have, after doing that, you'll probably have, let's see, you're taking out 7. So you'd have an extra 2 cards to add there. Alright, let's accept that. I'll try and remember what I used to have in the deck. Yeah, no, yeah. Nope. Alright, so he's using the Ruby Wild, which is actually a pretty decent matchup for this deck. It's actually a pretty good matchup. Because you always have the ways to stop. Well, in this case, maybe I won't have it, but you've got a lot of ways to stop those, you know, pucks and parries. How you on there, Heretic Princess? Alrighty, let's. Yeah, this hand is. You know what? We're gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Ruby first here, just in case, you know, because he could do a puck, and I may hit a Ruby, right? And it's important to kill a puck. I could just die. If he plays a puck here, I could just be dead. He's not able to play one, so that's good. We're going to see a Chlorophylla, that's fine. So, let's see. I'm obviously going to need to draw more shards. He's doing... What is he doing? Another Chlorophylla, okay. So that's a bit worrisome. He's getting off to a very quick start. So I could actually just be overrun here. It's one of the things Ruby Wild does best. In terms of the big troops, anyway. So I do hit another shard. The one upside A. Well, no, it's no. This is gonna be troublesome because, like, my best play next turn is another very slow play, which is Oracle Song. So if he does a Periwinkle here, or even just an Eternal Sage, I'm in a. Alright, that hurts too. That's gonna be a lot of damage. So if he's got Balthazar, he can just replenish his whole hand, and the game will be over. Like, the game will be just completely over right now. So this is looking pretty bleak already. So, know exactly what I'm needing. Yep, this is looking pretty bad. I can't use that either to kill this, it's too big. And I can't do, you know, this and this either. I'm gonna need to draw a Bolt or another Rage Fire, and that's... If he does a Balthazar, I'm just done. But he's doing a Rude Father, which also is pretty much me dead. As that is 20 damage. So yeah, that was... I say it's a good matchup, but, you know, when they ramped that quickly, you know, he had the Chloros instead of the stuff I can deal with, so I am just dead here. Like, going to 3 health, there's nothing I can do, obviously, against any of these. So I do get the ability to kill Jadine. We're gonna do it just because out of spite. Like, screw you, Jadine. That wasn't very nice. So we'll do that. Now, one thing you'll notice is I can actually play these, which is fun. And I'll do it just for shits and giggles, but yeah. I could no. There's just no way I can turn this around. Like I'll hit him just for 4, and I'll chump block, right? And we'll see see if maybe he's got just shards in hand. It's possible, but like whatever's. So you see, like I had a pretty decent turn 4 play there, right? But he obviously, you know, like I said, he had the much better ramp, you know, the ramp that I couldn't stop, which is, yeah, and there's a Croco anyway. So, you know, he had all the things. And we'll go to the next game now. Bummer. How you get on there, Blue Tech? So that was annoying. Thank you for the follow. Indeed, nice dog. That is Bella. She's sitting on my lap right now. She's watching. Alright, so, counters are obviously good in this against that deck, but yeah, I guess I need them. So I'm going to take out one of these and one of those. That'll do. And we'll just save. I could also bring in incubation webs, but whatevers. So yeah, I mean, when I said before it is a good matchup, I mean it's it's a decent matchup. Is in terms of like as you saw, I did a turn 4 double Phoenix there. I dealt with the Jadim, but he was able to play way too much there, being on the play, having 2 Chlorophyllias. But yeah, let's hope he doesn't get such a curve again. But the thing with Ruby Wild is if they do get their ramp, if they get a puck down and you can't deal with it, or a puck and then you deal with that, and then they've got a Periwinkle and you can't deal with that. The deck has many ways, many early threats that are threat of threats that if you don't deal with them, you're probably going to get wrecked. So that's Ruby Wild is definitely going to be also another deck that's probably going to stick around for for Primal Dawn and just get upgraded, as we talked about in, I think it was episode 5, some of those upgrades. So let's play first this time. Hopefully get a good hand. Well, that's not good. I'm gonna keep it anyway. You're stuck in the tutorial. What? Meta-ness. Hang on there, Hacky. So I'm keeping an obviously extremely risky hand here. But whatever. Can't figure out what to do even when it tells me. I mean, I haven't done the tutorial myself, so I can't help you at the moment, but maybe someone in chat will be able to help you there. Alright, so obviously I'm going to Arcane Focus here and try to get probably just one a Ruby, but any shard would be nice. And I'm fluked. So we might as well take that, and we'll try and live some sort of dream, but that's definitely not good. Not getting the second shard could be the end of target the Scorch on the field using Bravery. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Thanks for the host there. Let me see if I can... Bishop Tank, alright. I was looking at the name wrong. Alright, so yeah, didn't get it. I'm in trouble. I'm in lots of trouble. So I mean, I kept an extremely risky hand, obviously. Arcane Focus didn't get to what I wanted, so I'm probably going to be dead here. As he has the ability to just do another Jadim if he wants to. He's going to ramp some more first, so he's getting possible Root Father next turn, which is again something I can't deal with. So yeah, well, there's a resource, but not really a very helpful one. So I'm doing a whole lot of nothing. I have to hold this back in case of Root Father. But if he has a Root Father, it's over. He can't be this slow against this sort of deck. Can't just miss several turns and do nothing. Unless they're just relying too heavily on pucks and parries. In this case, he's got Jadim. That's gonna hurt. Ouchie, ouchie. Alright, so now I'm just gonna be playing right into Croco. Another downside to this deck is that's why I would like to have Zygmunt's Game, because then I could potentially have... See, this is where, if I had Zygmunt's Game, and I had a Ruby, obviously, I could kill Jadim. Well, I obviously would cast it, potentially kill my own Seer, and then wouldn't care, and then just recast it and kill Jadim. That would be great. It'd be a very nice card in the deck. I don't know what I would replace yet, but it would definitely be nice. It would require testing to figure out what I would want to take out. It would be very nice against this deck, though. All about their fatties. Deal with those Root Fathers as well. Like, you take the 8 damage like I'm doing here. So I'm taking another 20. Yay! Woo! feels so good. So there's actually... I need to get a ruby, and then I can survive a turn. If I get a ruby, I can do what I did last time. So it's kind of a repeat, but yeah. Surprised you didn't burn... What? No ruby, buddy. Yeah, I need it now. I'll need a ruby right now to do that. And it's a counter. Oh, that's just what I needed. See, I brought this in to take care of things like this, but I got it a bit later. But yeah, so if I got the ruby there, I could have done the same play. You know, killed, in this case using a bolt and a burn to kill that, then Scorch to the face, then double Phoenix, then chump block here potentially, unless he has Croco again. Anyway, so that's my death. Let's do another game. So who's next? That was not a great showing. Not a great showing at all. Let me check. So I did record some videos. I might actually just play one back here if I can find it. But for some reason, my recordings are... I don't actually know if it worked now. You had a Duke? Yeah, that would have hurt. So, if someone else would like to verse me, just whisper me while I see if I can find my recordings. Is it this one? Alright, I think I found it. Well, that's one of them anyway. So I might just capture this and play it back and talk about it. Like, if I can find... There was one good game. Well, there was several good games. I went 5-0, so it worked very nicely. Let me check. Here's the one. Here's the one I wanted to show. Alright, so I'm going to capture this. Give me a second. So... How do I get that to work? Add video? Oh wait, did somebody want to verse me? No? Nope. Alright, good. So what was the question there, sorry? Yes, you can post a screenshot, that's fine, man. That's fine. There you go. Alright, so let me get this recording up here. And I will talk about it as it goes. See you later, princess. Let's just try that. Sub-region, select region. Alright, let's see if that works. So I'm gonna have to just resize this, give me a second. Alright. That should do it. Alright, so... Oh, Bella, your head! Bella's head? No! Let's get Bella's head back. Can't do that to Bella. Let's fix that up real quick. Alright, Bella's back. There we go. Alright, so here's a game that, as I said, was recorded from earlier. So and the good thing about this is I can pause and... So this hand here, obviously, is a very risky one, as you can see. So I'm keeping another risky hand against a, in this case I wasn't sure what variation of Rutherford deck it was going to be. He plays out a Sapphire and does an Ancestor's Chosen, which is fine. Got the burn for that. So, I kept, as I said, one shard hand on the draw, which is fine, and I get a ruby. And as I said before, with the Thunderfield Seer, you don't actually mind playing that out. In most cases you want to play that out on turn 2, because then you're less likely to get to the, if you don't get the action off the top, you play the Elder, and then you're very happy, because then you also get around the counter magics on your action, because it will be copied and counter draw, so if they stop one, you'll still get the other. So that's what happens in this case. I play out the Ruby there, knowing that I'm going to play a Sapphire Jewel Shard, get that, still play the Seer, and then on turn 3, provided I keep hitting shards, I can do the Elder there. So he's just played in, so I get a focus as well, which is nice. So I think what I did here was, I just went with the Seer, I'm pretty sure. But we'll find out in a second. Pretty sure that's what I would have done. And yeah, again, if you have questions, just type in the chat at HexHavoc, followed by your question. So maybe I went for the focus. Dun, 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 dun. Nope, back to the Seer. Yeah, alright, so the Seer. Where's my chat? There we go. Where's OBS gone? Alright, there we go. I can watch this and look at the chat. Oh, this is handy. This is good having a video, actually. I should do this more often. I can follow chat and commentate the game here. So he's playing another Chosen, that's obviously fine. Don't even care about him having... So I did get the Shard here, which obviously, as I said, very good. So now it's an easy decision of playing the Thunderfield Elder. Pretty much slam that down. Be extremely happy knowing that now I have an action in my deck that is copy and draw a card. So that means I'll play it, I'll get 2 copies of it, and I'll draw 2 cards, and that's obviously incredible value. Let me read the chat here. Yeah, you don't need to play the tutorial. It just helps out. Teaches you some main things. But you can just just make some friends and then get on Skype and then just bug people and just ask them question after question, or just as you're doing now, jump in streams and ask questions as if you're confused about anything. Streams are a good place to ask questions because there's always people around that are more than willing to help out. So we see a Soul Marble here, and I'm more than happy because that's a slow card in my deck. It's not something you can just be passive against. So as you can see here, I didn't draw that action yet, so you know what I'm going to do here, obviously, and that's play another Elder. So now we have a next action in the deck, and also you have to remember I have Arcane Focus. So this game could be over right here if I get the right action, and it's beautiful. It's a Rage Fire with double copy and draw a card. That is disgustingly OP, and my opponent is now dead. So I can swing in here for 4 damage, and next turn, there's nothing he can do to stop this Rage Fire Leak. If he has a counter, he gets to stop 1 of them. If he has a Shard, he can stop potentially 2 with a Counter Magic and Verdict, but then he still has to take, I still draw a card at the end of the day, and I still do a Rage Fire. But if he has both of those cards, then he's okay. He's not dead. But let's find out. So Rage Fire is going to obviously hurt big time. So this is a double copy. So there goes the first play. Does the first copy. And if I wanted to, I could kill the Chosen, but there's just really no need. It's all about going to the face. So it's 2 damage to the face, then 4 damage, then 6 damage. So we got 3, they're escalating. And so I think about doing it to the dude. I'm like, oh no, that's a bit of a waste. Let's just, because as you can see, they have escalated to 4 damage already. So yeah, just another card draw there, and we do all that damage. He's down to 6 health, and what do we draw? Another Rage Fire for 8 damage to finish it off, and he didn't have a counter, and that's the end. He's dead. So that was, that's a beautiful example there. That's why I wanted to show this video specifically, is because the Thunderfield Seers, if you don't hit your action straight away and you then get some Elders out, that's just the beautiful part of it, right? So yeah. And no, that doesn't work, Malicus. Countering, it'll still go... It should still go on the chain, unless I'm... Let me check this. I'm pretty sure I've played this a lot, so maybe now you're confusing me. Yeah, no, it's when you play this, copy it, man. When you play this, that's the key word. Whereas Thunderfield Seer sadly does not have that. He has just draw a card. If he had when you play this as well, that would be much better. But having when you play this and then the effect is what gets around counter. So yeah. Now we're game 2. I don't think I changed the sideboard here. Kept a little bit of a much slower hand, but it's 3 Oracle Songs, might as well. So let's skip ahead a couple turns here. We can, that's the benefit of having a video. We can fast forward, for example. So we see a Soul Marble. I then get a ruby, which is nice. So I've got another resource there. So now I can do Oracle Song next turn, which he's just pumping his marble, which is fine. So I Oracle here, draw some more cards. Let's skip ahead a bit. So I drew a Rage Fire and a Burn, I think, or something. He's just still pumping his marble. He's got his thresholds. I'm still needing another ruby, but obviously I have all this card draw. So I think I just slam down the Renlock here and say, you know what, here, let's make you use your turn to deal with this Renlock, potentially. In this case he martyrs it, so I'll just skip ahead a bit. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was martyr. So I'm okay with that. Now I have a 2/2 on the board, and as you can see, based on my hand here, and this is another thing, like in the past I didn't use this champion, but it actually, you know, when you're using Phoenix, it's good to have. It's another cheap action you can play with Renlock, but also just, you know, in this case I can kill this troop here. I can then Oracle Song, and I can do many different things to get this Phoenix into play. But ideally, I want to grab another Phoenix if I can, and that's where I remember this. I did an Arcane Focus into an Arcane Focus, and I ended up getting a second Phoenix. So here we go, second Arcane Focus. I'm pretty sure I got it anyway. Maybe I didn't. Pretty sure though. And okay, maybe I was wrong. Must have been next time I get a Phoenix. But anyway, so we get the Phoenix down, obviously, so we get in. This is a 5/3 now, thanks to Martyr. So getting some good damage there. So I'll skip ahead a bit. And what did he do there? Oh, he countered, right, he counter-magicked the Phoenix, but I've got 5 actions, or 4 or 5 in there, so obviously I can get that out of the crypt next turn. And there's the second Phoenix I mentioned. Obviously 8 cost now, I think, because of the counter, which doesn't really matter too much as I have a lot of actions to play. So I decide to just start playing the actions here. And I think I do that, and okay, so Verdicts, then I think I do the Oracle. Well, now I have enough to do that, so I get the Phoenix out here. Oh yeah, I guess you mean if when you have double, as I had the double Thunderfield Elder. Is that what you were talking about, Malachus? Okay. Yeah, you're talking about the second, yeah. No, that's right. Hang on, Shafty. So, play out Thunderfield Seer there. Yeah. Now you're right when it comes to the second copy, but then in that case you don't mind. Like, yes, if he had the counter and the verdict, well then yes, he would have stopped both. You're right. I see what you're saying now. So obviously in this game, you know, my opponent is running a slow deck. He's got some answers. Obviously Martyr's a good one for Phoenix, but with 3 Oracle Songs, all that card draw, not really something he's been able to keep up with here. No, I just had to start later. That's all. Just start the show later. And at the moment I'm just playing back a video here. So he goes for the Cavalry, which is like whatever, you know, he swings in with it because, you know, it's steadfast, so he might as well. I obviously can happily just chump block. He's obviously dead here. He's tapped out now, so I can just bolt, burn, burn, you know, all the things, and then just Sunsoul Phoenix. You know, he's dead many ways. I don't even need to play the second Sunsoul Phoenix to kill him, but I do it anyway, just because why not? But there is nothing he can do here. Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, he goes down to obviously fatal levels just from that alone, but then we can play that, and he quits the game. Stone Skin incoming? Yeah, so that was that. And that was the end of the gauntlet, actually, that game there. So yeah, that was, obviously that first game was a good example of the Thunderfield Seer and the Thunderfield Elder interaction together. We got to see, you know, the Rage Fire be insanely awesome there. But yeah, as Malachus points out, counters, you know, while the copy stuff does get around the counters is actually another weakness for the deck. If you don't get the Elder and you just get Seers, like say you get like I've had games where you do like a seer, and then like maybe you do a seer turn 1 and a seer turn 2, and maybe 2 seers turn 2. Say you do that, and then that action you draw, you then have to wait for your opponent not to be having counter open. Because if you try and play that and then they counter it, you've just basically played 3 1/1s for 1, and that's all they get. Because if that action then gets stopped, if you've stacked it all on the one action, that's, you know, in a lot of cases can be bad if you're against decks with lots of counters. So yeah, because otherwise, you know, it's as I said, the weakness of the seer is it's not when you play this. If it was when you play this, then you wouldn't care. You just play it, and you'd still get that card back, so you wouldn't mind. That's the one advantage of the Elder here, is it says when you play this. But yeah, so counters are still a weakness to the deck. Mill is a weakness, but Phoenix helps out a little bit in that regard. I actually had a game in the Gauntlet from the video I just showed you. I had a game where I got milled for a decent amount. I mean, the guy's deck was like Mono, Sapphire, Azure Fate, Mill. It was not a very good deck, but he did mill a decent amount of cards, but it just helped me in the end of the day. It allowed me to get a second Phoenix just from the Crypt earlier, and yeah, it was just, yeah. So mill can, but then if they do, like if they mill all your Phoenix, then you've got enough actions to play several of them. That obviously is nice, but yeah. Havoc, what's the fastest deck to stomp through Frost Arena? I need some gold. In terms of the cards you probably have, I mean, I just use the Titania's Majesty still, because you know that card's still OP, and there's a reason why it's banned. So I just use that with. I'll quickly show you here. I don't know why I hit save. So if you want, this is what I use. I mean, I haven't played Arena in forever, but basically that right there. So pucks, parries, crocos, titties, rude fathers, calamities, eyes, and then you got. This is not necessary though. The witch there, but yeah, you have 1 cost Chlorophyllus thanks to the hat there. So I would probably just use that. But this may be faster decks, I don't know. Check the forums, I would recommend. So let's go back to the Thunderstruck. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions, or would anyone like to... I'd be more than happy to play another game if someone wants to verse it. Blood Diamond deck on fast shards is good, cheap, fast, and consistent. I don't think Blood Diamond would be fast, fast, like, turn 3 kills or anything, would it? I'd have to look at it, but yeah. So yeah, let's. So yeah, as I was saying, the main win condition, obviously Ragefire. Phoenix adds another win condition and anti-mill. But yeah, your biggest weakness still is mill. Counters can be really annoying if you don't, if you stack all these dudes up on the one thing. Counters are problematic, so you have to wait till they tap out in a lot of cases. That's where Oracle Song can help, because then you might, say you've got Oracle Song, well, you don't mind playing Oracle Song when they've got counter open. If they counter, well, that's fine. That's 1 counter used and so on. So yeah, that's the deck there. Reserves, that's definitely needs updating. Like Reginald's not really needed. Counter can maybe be done without. But let's see here. But yeah, it's a very fun deck to play, and I'm very much looking forward to Primal Dawn. Again, the Sigmund's game here. Definitely going to be fun with this deck, I believe. So, and there's what other cards actually? What other cards from Primal Dawn? Let me see if I can remember. I mean, there's a few actually. Let me check the spoilers. Still no word on release date. No, sadly not. So what else would be good here? Flickering Gobbler could actually be decent in this deck. Could be. I'll bring that one up as well in a second. Give me just a moment. I'm just going to save some images here. So that's one that could be decent. What else? This also Sonic Flame. Maybe not though. I don't think the deck needs it. Let's see. I'm just looking here. But again, if someone likes to challenge me, just whisper me in game or say something in chat. Starcaller Ancient obviously is something that I don't know if it'll fit in this deck. I mean, it will fit in it. It's just a, yeah. So I'll show you guys that one as well. I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about, but there's those two. Let's see, Electrify potentially. You know, that's probably in the sideboard. Maybe. I think that's about it, really. From all the cards that have been spoiled. Double checking. Yep, that's pretty much it. So let's bring those two up on the screen here. Where's my check one? Is that the Prophecy one or the -2 cost actions one? I'll just bring it up here. It's the Prophecy one. Give me a moment. So, first one we'll look at here is the Gobbler. Position reset. So yeah, there's the Gobbler there. And obviously, potentially could fit in a deck like this where you've got lots of actions, obviously. You know, because if you don't play an action, he then just gets sacrificed, or he, she, I don't know what the hell this is. It gets sacrificed. So yeah, this potentially would be rather nice because, you know, you're for 2 cost. You know, you could just play, for example. I mean, the downside is you can't really do it on turn 2. That is obviously a downside. But you could do it on, say, turn 3 with like an Arcane Focus or a Burn. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it might need to be built around a bit more specifically for this card. But potentially fits in a certain deck like that. But yeah, may be adjusted further to take to use it to be just better, basically. And then there's this guy here, the Starcaller Ancient, which obviously is all about the Prophecy, and that's what the deck's all about. So, well, yeah, unless you're running Scorch, so that's what I mean. You might have to adjust the deck even further. Like that would be better. Like the Gobbler there would be better in a Scorch Phoenix deck, you know, one that's less about the Prophecy. This guy fits obviously nice in this deck because he's all about the Prophecy. The Gobbler is more about, you know, the cheaper actions, you know, so you have to have less, you know, you want to have less troops even. So that the Gobbler is probably going to be in a deck that's, you know, less, you know, you probably won't be running Thunderfield Seers, Thunderfield Elders, all that sort of stuff. You're going to be all about, you know, the cheap actions, you know, the 1 and 2 cost actions for keeping the Gobbler on the board, doing damage, and then also cheating into play your Phoenix. But yeah, the Starcaller Ancient obviously very, very powerful with the Prophecy cards. So yeah, I don't know if I mean, like for example, I could put this in instead of Oracle Songs potentially, as the deck does draw a lot of cards, or take out, you know, it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going to be trying a lot of different things, but yeah, this card is definitely a lot of fun, and I look forward to playing with it. And then yeah, Zygmunt's Game definitely is going to be Zygmunt's Game, which I had up earlier. Let me bring that back up. So this is probably going to be more of a sideboard option, maybe, you know, depending, because obviously we only have so much room, right? So this may be just the sideboard option. It is a damn good card, but you know, against certain matchups, you're not going to need it. Depending on how well it does work, it may end up going in the main deck. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So as you'll notice, I didn't bother with my structure today. You know, doing all the different segments, as didn't really feel the need for this deck. But let's get into another game here. I'm just gonna do a random opponent. But yeah, as I said, it's not really something that has really been in the meta. It does well in Gauntlet, this deck. I mean, the deck is strong, but you know, this, for example, the the Azure Fate spell shield is a pretty big weakness as well. Like, you have to bring in Heat Wave, but you don't want to. So a lot of cases you do have to just try and just basically outrace them, which can be very tough. But yeah, just bringing in Heat Wave is not something you really want to bring in with this deck at all. Yeah, because it's obviously, you know, can't do damage to the face, and that's what this deck is all about. So there's a very nice hand here. So yeah, again, you play the focus on turn 1. You want to play this on turn 2, because then you might draw an Elder, you know. So I'm going to play to that, or I might even draw another Seer. So stacking it against, well, against a Wintermoon is not the best idea, but I am on the play, so yeah. What's happening? He's doing something. Oh, there we go. Alright. Let's play the focus. Grab the ruby there. Just because rage fires and all that. The double sapphire is a later thing needed. I'm sure I'll get another sapphire thanks to Oracle Song anyway. Had to pick one or the other anyway. Okay, so he's got a Howling Brave, that's okay. I may not... yeah, okay, so I did get it. There we go, there's the second Seer I talked about. So now I can stack that onto the one action, which is okay. He doesn't have the ability to counter. He could play a Sapphire and then have a Verdict, but if he leaves open resources that looks like he has a Verdict, well then I'll just play an Oracle Song instead, and I might not even draw the action yet anyway. But now we have that stacked on a card. Now the beautiful thing about that is something I didn't mention much yet, is the Cyclone Shaman. The more things you stack onto one card, the better when it comes to Cyclone Shaman, as the Cyclone Shaman allows you to get it out of your deck. So he's tapped out now. He's only got the one resource open. Obviously not going to be able to stop the action if I draw it, so depending on what it is, you know, I might play it, I might not. It's an Arcane Focus, so that's obviously nice. So, yeah, there's really no reason not to play that here. It draws just as many... well, there is, but I'm going to actually grab the Burn here, and didn't get exactly what I wanted there. If I drew another cheap action, I could have got that into play there. Wasn't to be, so I'll just kill this. Because why not? I'll get more actions for this later. I'm not really that fussed. So then we'll just swing in. Don't get to cheat to play the Phoenix there, which is fine. Maybe it would have been correct to play the Oracle Song that turn, and then do the focus, and yeah, anyway, it's all good. Off to a good start here. And I don't have my Sapphire yet, sadly. He's actually running Tricolor, so that's interesting. So yeah, he's running a Tricolor, Ragefire, etc. Syzygy deck. So that's fine. Oh, why couldn't you have came earlier? You floobs? Alright, we'll just play that. Get the shot down. Next turn, I can very likely get that Phoenix into play. So we'll hit in for another 2 here. But for the series standing out, yeah, it's pretty nice. Raise the roof. So, he doesn't have a second ruby yet, so we can't just start doing rage. Well, now he can. But if he just uses his turn to like Ragefire here, for example, which is very likely what he'll do. It's a demolition, really? That's just rude, buddy. Alright, that's fine. I don't care about that at all. I mean, he's taking a lot of damage here. I drew another shard, so... yeah, let's Oracle Song first. Try to get that second Sapphire. Don't get it, so that's sad. But okay, doesn't really matter. So I can't, you know, I didn't get a burn or something, so I can't do the Scorch Phoenix thing here, but that's fine. I've still got... I'm the one who's still got damage on him. You know, I've got a board state he really needs to stop, so... yeah. It's looking fine, like he's really not doing a whole lot just yet. If he does more demolishes, I'm going to be annoyed, but... if he does that, which he did, But, I mean, he still has to deal with my board state. So if he has Heat Wave, which if he had it, he would have done already. But yeah, I mean, okay, so you're getting rid of my resources, sure, that's fine. But meanwhile, you're dying. So now I have a copied Ragefire. Now he's got potential Verdict open. I'm just gonna play another Elder here. Can we do opponent's deck on the next meta match? What, this one? So he does a Time Ripple on an Elder. That's fine. I mean, yes, he takes less damage this turn, but yeah, that's okay. Again, I've got that copy Ragefire over there, so we have 6 damage just sitting in my hand. That's nice. The next, well, it all depends. Like, I'm wanting to do an episode before Primal Dawn hits, where I go back and look at all the decks I've looked at, for most of them anyway, and look at ways, you know, when we get more spoilers. But yeah, I don't know, maybe next episode I'll do something like this deck. I'm not a fan of this type of deck though. But, I mean, that's not to say it's not something I won't cover. But yeah. So, he needs to use this. He needs to draw more cards. So I need to still draw a Sapphire, would be nice. Come on. Oh, it's another Ruby. Well, that's not what I wanted. Well, in this case, I'll just play the Elder again, and now I have the next action is double copy on it. So then I'll just swing in again here. He's in trouble. I'm kidding, don't want to see. Okay, good. Alright. Good, because I didn't want to do it. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of this type of deck. It has a lot of weaknesses for this type. Which, you know, if you, like Syzygy is, yeah. Alright, so he does a Balthazar to draw 1 card, heal for a tiny amount, and he has 1 blocker. And I still can't get my Sapphire, but I mean, I can just kill him. And let's just finish him off. We can just finish him without even casting, without even attacking here. Thanks to him being tapped out. That's, you know, 6 damage as I said. Yeah, if it took out thresholds, oof, that'd be pretty rough. So he dies there because I could have scorched him to finish him, or just attack. So let's try another one. Random opponent. So I'll do one more here. But yeah, if you have, I mean, as I said, the deck is really not that complicated. It's fairly straightforward in its operation. And, you know, you're not really, it's a deck that's not about answering the opponent's stuff. Like, yes, you can answer their, you know, pucks and parries and all that sort of stuff, but you're not, it's something that is, you know, something obviously that is very relevant in the meta is counter. And this deck is not about counter. But counter can be annoying against it, of course. As I said, you know, if you stack up those Thunderfield Seers and don't have a copy effect, it can be very annoying. Speaking of stacking up Thunderfield Seers, alright, this could be interesting. Let's stack it up, baby. Let's stack it up. Thunderfield Seer, do. So this is where I want to draw a Shard into a Thunderfield Elder and then draw a Ragefire with triple card draw and copy. Let's do that, shall we? Can you make that happen, Kismet? Can we live the dream? Can we live the dream? The funny thing is, right, if like he's gonna be running counter, right? He's the spider, probably the spider thingamajiggy deck, the Fentio Azure Fate one. Maybe. So I did draw a Shard, that's good. So I'm gonna start doing some beatdowns here. The Thunderfield beatdown. Oh yeah. And, I mean, me being on the play is a big deal here. So now if I'm lucky, like if I'm super lucky, and I draw Thunderfield Elder, I mean, even if I don't, he needs to basically have Verdict. If I draw my action, I can just cast it now while it's safe. If he doesn't have, you know, 2 open, which he might just play an Exarch of the end. And he does. So that was the more likely play there. So now if I draw that action, it's okay. Obviously, it'd be nice to hit an Elder. It'd be much better. But we get the action. So that's still great. So we get to kill this, draw 3 cards, so we replace all those, but we're getting in damage with them, right? So that's the beauty of it. And then later on, with the... well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Almost could have got that into play if, you know, 1 more charge. But I can't cast that, obviously. So yeah, might as well just play the Shard of Innovation. But yeah, so we've replaced, you know, we didn't have to worry about counter there. We've replaced these guys now, and we've got beaters on the board. You know, they're beaters for now, and then they'll become chump blockers later, most likely. So yeah, this is obviously a very good start. And even if he plays a Fentio, we've got the answer for it in hand with a, you know, one card. Don't have to use several. But even if I didn't have this, though, I could do the Scorch and the Bolt. And he goes for a tunnel, so that's fine. He's going to take another 3 here, and we can get this into play. Oh, he gets an egg. But there's the Cyclone Shaman that I briefly was mentioning. Is that, you know, now that we have this here, which is triple card draw, all stacked on the one card, we now have this sucker, which I'm going to play. I mean, let's do it. Let's get that sucker on the board. Now we can get that back, and oh baby. Oh baby, baby. All you see is darkness? What, is it? Has it been working for everyone else? Yeah, I think if you just joined, it's possible. I mean, hopefully it's been working for everyone else, and I haven't just been talking over a black screen. But, alright, cool. Alright, good. Good. Just making sure. So yeah, this is obviously a very good position I'm in here. Very good position. Like, just the Cyclone Shaman. I love this card. Like, I see it wheel so much in or just be very late pick even in Limited. And it's such a good card. Like, he's gonna minus it down. I don't even care. The fact that he didn't leave up like a counter here, it's a pretty big deal. Like, if I get a Thunderfield Elder here, I can then get the Elder, play the Bolt, and draw another 3 cards. Like, no worries. And I draw a Burn, so I don't get it yet. But that does mean I can just do Bolt to the face. Well, let's see. Do I want to do it this way? We'll put this in my hand, and maybe I'll just do... You know what? Let's do that. We'll Scorch this, because that gets in more damage. And we don't care if he replays it, so we'll do that, and we'll just leave up the burn, basically. He can't replay that just yet, so we'll do that. It seems fine. It's just random opponent challenge. Just figured it'd be quick, and found an opponent pretty quickly there, so... He must be looking into your soul, Havoc. Damn, dude, damn. So yeah, he's in a bit of a pickle here, obviously. I don't have to. This I can just keep waiting until he's tapped out, and then just do it as a finisher. But he needs to do something right now. I'm going to go to the end turn. He didn't do anything, so I'm just going to burn him in the face, because why not? So that's 6 damage on the board. So with this, it's obviously Fable. I think he's leaving up Ripple and Verdict, maybe, or... I don't know. He needs more than just a Ripple, though. Oh, and I got it, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. It was an Elder. So wait. Yeah, so as you can see here, when it enters play, put target action with cost equal to or less than. So we get that Bolt. So, we'll just attack first. Wait for him to do his Ripple, I guess. It really isn't going to matter too much, though. There's too much value that I've gained out of all this stuff. So it's an Azure Fate with Mill. So that's fine. Like, Mill obviously is a weakness for the deck. But yeah. Doesn't even matter. Like, I mean, like I said, you know, if there was a Phoenix in there, then it just, you know... Yeah. How much health is he on? So he's actually just dead to any of this stuff, but we'll do it the better way. We'll have some more fun. We'll play that, get back that shiny Bolt right there with the draw 3 cards. Incredible value right there. Such good value. Alright, and then we'll just do that to his face, and we'll kill him. So there we go. Obviously we had many ways to kill him, but we'll do it that way. So yeah, that is the deck. Let's see here. So, yeah, like I could go over improvements and tweaks, but really it's more about the, you know, Primal Dawn. Like we're getting close. and that's, you know, we've looked at some of the cards that will be decent. But let's look at the, you know, you guys wanted to get a cheaper version. So if we want to make a very cheap version of the deck, we have to obviously take out the Phoenix and the Renlock. We want to increase the Shamans to 4. So I'll just quickly show you guys what would be preferable. You can then take out those from there, put those in the main. So you got 3 of those now. So 3 more cards. Now you could, if you like, run like a couple webs in the main. You could run Heroic Outlaw as well in the main. That's an option. But let's have a look at. Let's have a look. See if there's anything. You could run Scorch, right? It's not something you want to hit though with, you know, Elder. You know, Scorch getting copied is like extreme floobs, and extreme floobs is not. It's not good floobs. So give me a second. I'm just gonna quickly get my thing open here. All right, so yeah, Kindling Scarn is something I've had in the deck before. I don't like it that much, honestly, but yeah, I guess well, Kindling Scarn is actually rather expensive at the moment. We want to keep it cheaper, so let me let's have a look at. We don't want PvE cards, obviously, and we only want to look at actions for now. So let's take out that troops, constants. So let's have a quick look here. So like I said, Scorch is an option. I mean, if you get unlucky and you hit it with an Elder, well then too bad. that is something you could put in. Obviously it helps. Well, no, sorry, never mind. We took the Phoenixes out, so there's no point doing that. You could run 4 Burn to the Ground if you like. But let's have a look here. Like, we want to ideally keep just, like, could do Scheme. But Scheme's not that great, so could just do some Peaks. Like, Peak is an easy option. It'll help you with getting your resources. You know, we are running only 22, so there's times where, you know, you've seen it in some of the examples here where I've kept a very risky hand. Peak is another thing that helps out, and Peak is definitely an easy addition. So that's an option there. Just 3 Peaks in the main. So that's a cheap version there. So and Ragefire being the most expensive. So the deck would probably be around 2,400 platinum, maybe 2,500 platinum with everything there. And the sideboard, you know, is whatever. So let's have a look. So Time Ripple's also an option. It's not. I'm not a huge fan of it though in this deck because it's Time Ripple. It's something you can't do to the face, right? So. And yeah, and since we've taken out Phoenix and whatnot, you can also change the charge power. There's many options that, you know, Benvolio, Wyatt, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Time Ripple's not something I would add, but it is an option if you feel like it. Maybe as a sideboard thing. Crackling Wit is also another option. Depending on the charge power you go, maybe you prefer to have Wit over Peak. You could do that. You could do this, for example, and then say you were to use, where is it, the more health champion, the Sapphire, right? Dreaming Fox. So you could use Dreaming Fox, for example. So that Wits, and then you got Wits and Bolts there to get you some more charges. So you could do Peak or Wit. Let's see what else. Again, we want to try and stick to low-cost stuff. Oh, another thing I have run in the deck is Sabotage. Can be fun, but that's kind of a different deck. But yeah, you got can be fun. But there's a different, like, an alternate version of the deck where your main win condition is actually Sabotage, and you're using things like you could even use the Tunneler that creates booby traps, the Agent of Mole, and then you use like the what's it called? The constant my brain. What's it called? Come on, brain. Where is he? Where's it gone? Oh right, I untick constants. But oh wow, I can't believe I've forgotten this card. I see it like every day. I'm gonna have to find it now. My brain's not cooperating. Psychic Torment, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so you can use Psychic Torment, but yeah, that's, like I said, it's a different deck, but that can be a lot of fun as well. Because then you get the booby traps in there, then you just do damage to the face, mill cards, hit the booby traps with 10 mill more cards, and, you know, it can be a lot of fun. But, yeah, I think basically to keep the deck cheap, but also keeping cheap actions, it's basically a peak or a wit. You increase the shaman, so that pretty much there is a decent option. And then, like, I would do wit if I was doing this champion. If, well, maybe it's just better to do this champion anyway. But then again, I mean, peak, it's tough. Maybe, as I said, with this champion, I definitely would do wit. If I was going to use, like, Benvolio or something, probably just go with peak. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's a cheap alternative there. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck, and pretty much the end of the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have fun playing the deck, and definitely look forward to it being something in set 4. I think it'll definitely be something there, especially with all these new additions, and we still have yet to see all the cards, so could be a lot of fun. Definitely look forward to how Primal Dawn is going to change up the meta. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show. I am going to head off and get a much needed shower. So yeah, take care, have a good day. I am out of here. Where is my thingamajig? There we go. Play him.